Hi everyone and welcome back to Style with Substance. Today's video is all about finding your dream job. So channeling all your energy into finding the job or the career that essentially really invokes passion in you and makes you feel like you're really making a difference in the world. So I'm going to be sharing my tips on what I think are some of the really key steps to take when you are trying to pick the career that is really meant for you and that you're really passionate about. So if you like the sound of that and you want to find out what I did to find my dream job, then please keep watching. So the first step really is to figure out what it is that makes you happy. We all talk about, well, I say we all, the world and everyone talks about finding this dream job, finding what it is that you were meant to do, finding your calling in life. And it's really difficult actually to even get started on that journey if you don't know what it is that really makes you happy. Because they often say that where passion flows, money goes. And by that I don't mean that you will always be rich doing whatever it is that you class as your dream job, but I mean if you're really passionate about something, you're really good at it, then you can 9 times out of 10 make an income from it, or at least make a difference. So I think you really have to identify what it is that makes you happy. What could you do for free, not being paid, and still feel just as passionate and just as happy about it? What are you really good at? Think about your strengths. Think about the things that people tell you you're really good at if you yourself can't really put yourself in that mind frame to understand what your strengths are. And whatever that may be, that is really ideally your dream job. That is the kind of thing that you should be doing, and that's the thing that you've been put on this earth to do. So identify what it is that makes you truly happy and that makes you feel really passionate and get really excited about, and follow that. The second step is really what I would class as turning that passion into a vocation. In the new world that we live in, almost anything can be a job. You can make an income from most things. You can support yourself from doing a range of different things that weren't there before. And with the wake of the internet, job creation is at an all-time high, particularly self-employment, because there are so many tools out there and so many platforms for people to be able to sell their services or their talents, as it were, to a vast range of people. When we think about YouTube, for example, there are so many people doing YouTube as a full-time job, and that's fantastic. There are full-time bloggers out there, full-time vloggers, people who produce online content and get paid for it, essentially. So it's wonderful. We live in a new age, a digital age, and the jobs that were available then are not necessarily the jobs that we see now, that people are really making sort of lots of money from. So I think you really, to identify whether you can make an income out of something, you really just need to get an understanding as to whether or not it's a service or it's a talent that people are after or people need. And 9 times out of 10, there is somebody out there that needs it. It's just whether there's a big enough market out there for you to have enough people after your services, whatever that is. And when I talk about it, I'm talking about it in very much self-employment terms, but this could be, working for someone or working for a company. So you just need to identify whether what you're really passionate about fits into either a business that you could run yourself, or fits into a larger organisation where you could be within a department that requires that service. So figure out whether there's a market for your passion and then go for it. The third thing I think really is about honing your craft. Now, you may be very good at whatever it is that you're passionate about and what it is that you do, but you can always be learning. There are going to be numerous people out there who are also maybe as good as you, maybe not just as good as you, but catching up. The important thing is to really never stop learning, never stop taking in information. There's so much out there for us to absorb and learn about as human beings, and I think that particularly applies to your craft and perfecting your craft. You should always be learning, training yourself, finding out more information about how the line of work that you're in is changing, and things are always changing. There's always new developments, new technologies, new ways to do business. There's always something new. We live in an age where things are constantly on the go. So you need to be up to date with everything that concerns your craft, and you need to really allow yourself to perfect that and to become a master of your trade. The fourth thing is to really know how to sell yourself, how to market yourself. Because it's all well and good you being really good at what you do, but if nobody knows about it, then who is going to want to employ you or pay for your services, right? So you need to find a way to essentially display all your skills and all your strengths in one place, whether that's on a piece of paper, whether that's on a CV, whether that is on a portfolio, a show reel, you know, a gallery of your previous work, whatever it is. Being able to market yourself, being able to promote yourself and your skills is key. The job market and the wider market in terms of businesses is so wide. I think I read a stat that in 2014 there were almost 1,500 new startups being created every day, and that's sort of private small businesses, either owned by one person or a couple of people. So 1,500 businesses being started up every single day. That's what you're competing with. If you're a graduate, for example, by the time we get to July, there are, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of millions of new graduates all competing for the same roles that you might be competing for. So you really need to find a way to be able to set yourself apart from the crowd. And that differentiator is you. Nobody will do something the way you do it. Everybody has their own spin on something that they can bring. So you really need to figure out what your niche is or what your unique selling point is and get that down on paper, get that down in visual, on video, in a picture, whatever it is, however you kind of essentially promote yourself, you need to get it all in one place so that a potential employer or a potential customer can come across you and find you. Which leads me onto my next point. Social media, or media in general. We live in an age where the news outlets are feeding in news from what's going on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, videos that are going viral on YouTube. Like this, the media as we know it has totally changed, and now they're taking news often from social media. And I think social media is really key, particularly if you're promoting yourself as a business or as a brand. You really need to be up on what's going on in the social space. Channels like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, if you have a business or if you want to promote your own business, great ways to do so. I'll admit it probably applies better to certain types of businesses. So if you're a blogger, if you're a stylist, if you're a makeup artist, if you are a photographer, a videographer, it probably works better for you if you're in that sort of line of work. But I find that there can always be application for whatever it is that you do. You can always make a video about something, you can always take a picture of something, and with platforms like that where there are billions of people taking in that content every day, there's no reason why you shouldn't be on there. Naturally, obviously, you want to direct people back to one place, which is your website, but a lot of the time people use social media as a tool to drum up some attention, drum up some interest in what they're doing, and then ultimately drive people back to their main website or whatever your base is. From an employment market standpoint, you want to get your CV out there on all the relevant CV sites or job boards that are available. And that essentially is the key to having employers be able to find you, having your CV out on JobSite or CV Library or Indeed. Now I'm going to focus it back in my last point to the real essence of this video. So I've kind of delved back and forth from self-employment to being employed, but I'm going to bring it back to being employed by someone and finding your dream job. And I think this actually applies both ways, whether your dream job is being self-employed or whether your dream job involves working for someone else, and there's nothing wrong with either. Everyone's different. And everyone was put on this earth to serve a different purpose, I believe anyway. So naturally, how you make your income is going to differ from how somebody else prefers to. But the key thing to finding your dream job is believing that you can have it. And a lot of the time when somebody says dream job, you know, a lot of people associate that with making loads of money or having lots of recognition or being really famous. Like, sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's just about doing what you love. if doing what you love can make you a really big income, then obviously, you know, that's an ideal scenario. But you have to believe that somebody would see you as the ideal person to do that job. And I mention this point because self-belief is everything. I recently, maybe within the last 3 weeks, landed my dream job. And when I say landed my dream job, I mean in terms of employment, like working for someone else. Obviously, I do YouTube as a hobby on the side, and I've started to make an income from that. But in terms of my full-time employment, what I do during the day, that is marketing. So have always wanted to work in a professional services environment. And I recently landed a job in that environment. And I'll be honest with you, I've been applying for years, particularly to this company. And, you know, you get knockbacks and you get knockbacks and you get knockbacks. And I think I probably had submitted about upwards of 10 applications to this one company. And you often hear that, you know, if you've applied so many times, they're going to start to look at you in a certain way, and they're going to start to think, well, if this department didn't want to hire you, then why should we, sort of thing. But you have to realize that not everybody is going to see your vision. Not everybody is going to have the same drive and the same determination and the same goal in mind as you. So naturally, people will discourage you. Naturally, rejection will discourage you. But what I will say is, if you truly feel that you deserve to work for a certain company, or to work in a certain role, or to launch a certain business, then the only person that can allow you to realize that dream is you. Like, it's not going to come from anyone else. It's not going to come from that company. You need to convince yourself first. And once you've convinced yourself, honestly, the sky is the limit. Trust me. When I got the confirmation that I had got the job, I think I was almost in a state of shock. It all seemed a bit surreal. It seemed a bit like it wasn't my life, because years, I tell you, years, I've been applying for a position at this company, and now I've got it. I'm just like, I honestly could not have imagined anything better. Like, when you think of the peak of your career, for me, this is the peak of my career. This is what I've been working so hard to get to. And I'm so grateful to God, so grateful to my friends and family who've always encouraged me. And there will always be naysayers. There will always be people that tell you, oh, you can't do this job, or you can't work for this company. But nobody really cares at the end of the day but you, and it should only be you that cares that much. So if you have a dream job, or if you have a dream, full stop, a dream career, chase it and go for it. But before you do so, convince yourself that you deserve it. Because honestly, if you love it that much, and if you are that passionate about it, then you are exactly the kind of person that should be doing that. I've rambled a lot. I hope that you guys have taken something from this video, and I hope that if you're in the application process for a job, if you're in an interview process for a job, if you're in the phases of launching a new business, if you're just starting up and you're trying to think of ideas, like, let your mind, let your imagination run free. Because honestly, it's often the dreamers that become the doers. There is no real way of knowing that something can't be possible, or that you can't do something without trying. And that's always the first step, try. I think if you employ all those steps, and you have persistence, you have drive, you have belief in yourself, and you're constantly telling yourself or affirming to yourself that you deserve that, it's only a matter of time. It really is. It just depends on how patient you want to be, because not everything will come in the timing that you want. Some things won't be as immediate, but hang on in there, be persistent. If you're religious, pray on it, and just leave it in the hands of God or the universe or whoever it is that you believe in as a higher power, and it will happen for you. Hope this video has inspired you to either embark on a new journey, whether that's in employment or whether that's in your own venture. And I don't know, I look forward to hearing all of your stories down below of where you have taken this sort of approach or taken this sort of attitude, and you have eventually realised your passion and ultimately found your dream job from doing that. This video is all about inspiration, and my channel is Style with Substance. So much as I do like all things beauty, fashion, style, I think that life needs a bit of substance to it as well, because not everything is based on appearances. There's got to be something deeper within. So this is my substance video for the week. Hope you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I upload on a Tuesday and a Thursday, so that's 2 videos a week. And if you subscribe, then you never miss one. Thank you so much for all of my new subscribers, and all of the people who have been there right from the start. I've been doing this for nearly a year now, and the support has been incredible. I'm so grateful. I read all your comments, I reply to them all, and I enjoy interacting with you. So don't stop commenting, don't stop liking, don't stop sharing these videos. As many people as we can be helping, let's just do that, because I think there is so much negativity in this world, but yet at the same time we don't uncover all the positivity that's out there. So hopefully I'm spreading that. I wish you a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for stopping by, and do come back. Bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Style with Substance. Today I am filming my September favourites, and my sincere apologies that this is so late. I had a few other videos I wanted to get up before this one, but here it is, better late than never. I'm not going to ramble too much, I'm just going to get straight into it. So if you want to see the items that I've been loving last month, then keep watching. So the first item on the list is another one of my trusty replicas. This one I actually got, well, my cousin bought it back from Thailand for me. So she went out there traveling, was out there for a good few months, she was in Thailand, but she was also in Malaysia, and when she stopped off in Malaysia she picked this up for me. This is a replica of the Prada purse in the Saffiano leather. I think she got it for about £12. I don't know how